Hi, this is Kelly with Cleanly Consumed and Kelly Cutsinger Coaching. Thanks so much for watching today. We are filming outside because we are still in the COVID-19 quarantine, social distancing time frame, and we will be talking about sleep, relaxation, and for those that have a struggle with insomnia or just getting good quality sleep, I have some things I'd like to share with you that we've done personally or people that we've reached out to get some assistance with that. So I think you'll find them really helpful because we did. So let's go ahead and get started. And know that I am not a healthcare provider. Part of my coaching service is where I refer people to functionally minded practitioners that think outside the box, dive down to the root of the problem, and then I help stay and keep you encouraged and on your protocol through some programs that I have set up. So the first product that I like to recommend is the Himalaya ashwagandha herb. It's one that is a natural herb. Of course, one of the reasons why you would want to talk to your practitioner is that you don't know if this would interfere with any medications that you're currently on. So just because it's an herb, it's natural. They are very effective, so you want to make sure it's the right fit for you. You can get this at Whole Foods, you can get it at the vitamin shop, you can get it through my online dispensary, which I have a link down below. And it's just something that's natural that you might want to try before you would maybe want to try prescriptions way down the road. You always want to try with natural sources first. So ashwagandha is something that has worked great for us. I've even taken it on vacation and kind of rotate that in and out with some other things. So that is the first one that I would suggest is ashwagandha. Let's move on to the second. The second product I like to talk to you about is called L-Theanine. It's an amino acid, and I have been recommended this by a number of registered dietitians that take more of an integrative approach. And L-Theanine, they have a children's version in the stores, so it's like a gummy at Whole Foods, but usually 100 and 200 milligrams is what people will kind of use when they're first starting out. Again, you'd always want to get back with your practitioner, but L-Theanine, I get mine from Integrative Therapeutics, and I get that through my online dispensary. There's other brands that you can get again at Whole Foods or Vitamin Shop or sources like that. So those are the first two. Moving on to step number 3. Okay, the third product I'd like to talk to you about are using a diffuser or roll-on products that are essential oils. And here my dog, he is running past me. He has no problem sleeping, which is great. Okay, some of the oils that I like to use in the diffuser are, again, lavender, which probably a lot of you have used in your diffuser. Other ones are a blend of lavender, vetiver, which is a really thick, syrupy type essential oil, so you would need to get a dropper and put one drop in, and then also adding orange and cedarwood and mixing those together. Also, Young Living is a safe, trusted source for CBD oil. So we have a roll-on by Nature's Ultra. They're in partnership with Young Living, and it's a calm oil. So we'll roll that on the back of our necks and our chest, and also do the bottoms of your feet. So having a diffuser going into your room also sets the mood for knowing that your body that it's nighttime. It's great for kids. And I'm using a diffuser, and they have some with lights. You can turn those off so the lights aren't stimulating them. They also have some that have music and white noise, and so those can be very helpful as well. Essential oils have been used for thousands and thousands of years, so whether you use Young Living or another trusted brand, make sure that it is 100% organic and safe and made with integrity. So those are some oils that I suggest for sleep promotion. So let's move on. Another project I would like to talk about, which is the fourth, is a light therapy. So whether you use a red light, this is something that I got from my husband. He knows, like we said, I have struggled on and off with sleep. And so I know some things that have worked for me and things that have not worked for me. This light is called, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, the Dodao. Fall asleep faster. It's made from people, designed from people with insomnia, which is another point. Most of the people, the functional practitioners in my network, have an incredible healing recovery testimonials. So most of the people that talk about functional medicine and integrative approaches have had their own personal health journey, which should help you feel comforted and then also let you know some things that have worked from different people. So this is a light. Again, it comes in this box, and it's very easy to use. That bird is so loud. Well, see, I think birds tell you that it's daytime, and then the frogs come out and tell you that it's nighttime. So I don't know. I don't know if you can hear frogs. So this was kind of hard getting out of the box. At least you know it is shipped safely. So we got this from Amazon, and it's super simple. I don't know if you can see, the thunder is rolling in. Okay, so it's just this disc. You push it once, and a blue light comes on. I know you can see that. And you push it twice, and the difference in that is you're not going to be able to see it now, but the light gets expanded onto your ceiling, and you're breathing in really deep as the lights go expanding onto the ceiling. And then when it's getting smaller, you breathe out until it starts repeating that cycle. And so it's really about taking deep breaths, watching this light that kind of puts you kind of like in this hypnotic kind of sleep state that gets you relaxed. So I feel like this is safe for me and my kids, and so we will use this. And then just to turn it off, you just hold it down for 3 seconds, and then you'll see the light come off. So that is available on Amazon. It's something that I rotate. We only have one, so I'll rotate that throughout the bedrooms if we're having some problems with the little ones getting to sleep. So I don't know if you know this, but I have 4 kids, and so sometimes, you know, not all 6 of us and the dog can go to sleep at the same time. So we will rotate some of our items in our house. So moving on to the next item, like I just mentioned, we have a large family, and so sometimes noises might keep you awake. So I have purchased several different kinds of earplugs before. We have the ones that you can just get at the store that are foam. I had one, but it fell out somewhere, that you can put those in your ear. But then sometimes you might notice that any kind of noise you make is just kind of intensified in your ear, and then like you can't get to sleep because of the earplugs. They also make some that are silicone. So those, if you are able to use an earplug, then maybe that might be something that you would like to do. It could also be that you're deep breathing with the earplugs in really kind of create a white noise and help you get asleep, tune in everything out except for that noise. So that might be something that you want to try. So let's move on. The next thing really has to do with lifestyle and getting outside. I do notice, like yesterday, we played 3 pickleball games with our boys to kind of wear them out, and it really helped us sleep better last night. And then just getting outside in general, waking up to the sun, maybe having, if you have the ability to have your window open or your blinds open to where the natural light wakes you up instead of the blaring alarm. Kind of resetting your circadian rhythm to falling asleep, and then going to sleep, having a reminder on your phone that it's time to wind down, obviously setting that schedule for you to start relaxing and really staying on top of that, because in the morning you will be thankful. That's what I tell my kids. I know you don't want to go to sleep right now. I know you have more fun at night, you know, and there's lots of things that you can do that you can't do during the school day. But in the morning, you will be so thankful and you'll feel rested. And they're like, you're right. You know, we tell you that every day. So just remember that for you too as adults, that it's good to go to bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock. You know, whatever your wake up hour is, making sure you have at least 8.5 hours where you're in bed to allot for the time that you're falling asleep and waking up. So the next suggestions I have for you are actually through the use of a direction of a practitioner. So let's go ahead and talk about some of those things. One of the first things would be food inflammatory testing, which is different than an anaphylactic allergy. It's not an allergy. It really comes with your gut health and how intact your gut lining is, and really talking about leaky gut, if that's a term that you've heard of. The tight junctions in your gut can start to separate and thin out and deteriorate, and then you're having a reaction, an immune response to food that you're eating. And it might not necessarily be something that is, it might be something that's a healthy food, but your body's still reacting towards. And this is something that I personally went through, and they were foods like turkey, spinach, paprika, and things that you thought that would be healthy, but for you at that particular time, you were having an inflammatory response, and your body can't relax and go to sleep as easily or heal when your body is in an inflammatory state. So food inflammatory testing can be done through the mail. It can be done through a finger prick and then mailed in, or you can also go and do something that's a little bit more extensive, also maybe a little bit more pricey, where you get a blood draw. So I have some practitioners where I can help coordinate that for you, and I find that very effective. Some people really need that guideline. Food journaling is another way that you can do that to identify muscle testing, but I have found that the finger prick test really will identify 90 to 120 to more foods and additives that you should avoid, and it tells you the green light foods that you should be eating. So sometimes that might be something to look at if you've really been struggling with sleep for a really long time. Okay, another test that you might want to talk to your practitioner about is your gut health and the state of your gut. So we have both good and bad bacteria, and so knowing that you have a good harmony of both good and bad bacteria working together, and that you don't have an overgrowth of a pathogen or a parasite or something in overgrowth. So that would be another thing that you can work with a practitioner in my network to kind of identify those and treat that either through some herbal type antibiotic to suppress that, or to use the right probiotic to help grow and feed and nurture the good bacteria in your gut and keep your gut moving along so that your digestive system is working in the way that it should to help calm down your gut, so that in the end you can sleep and feel better overall. Another near and dear to my heart thing that I would like to talk about that really affects sleep is sleep apnea. So sleep apnea is so underdiagnosed, and a lot of people that I have met have said, I am sure I have sleep apnea, but I do not want a machine. I don't want to be hooked up to a machine for the rest of my life. And here's what I would like to say. No kidding, that sounds horrible. I mean, my own dad tripped over his tube for his CPAP machine and hurt his collarbone. So, I mean, it is a pain, but a sleep apnea device is something that helps open your airway, get the oxygen that you need so that you can heal, repair, support your body through the aging process, and protects your heart when you're sleeping. It just does so much. Your anxiety level, our sleep is so important, and even if you're not having the obstructive apnea to where you're snoring or you're really loud or you sound like a freight train, unless you have someone filming you and you know how you're truly sleeping, or you've had a sleep study, even if you've had a sleep study, putting all the pieces together are very crucial, because there are so many people out there that are misdiagnosed. And there are other options other than having a CPAP machine, which is kind of the gold standard. They progressed, and they do have some dental appliances. They are able to measure your airway through imaging, and children's mouths and their palates are still moldable. They're still growing, and so the dentistry field is just growing with technology and knowledge. And so I have some great biological dentists that I would be able to refer you to as well, and then also can help you walk through the process of understanding sleep apnea and the importance of that. So sleep apnea is something that you would definitely want to look into. Here we are moving on to the next suggestion that I have, as the thunder is rolling in, is hormonal testing. So stress does definitely not help. And if you've ever heard of something called cortisol, that is a hormone that really spikes and peaks whenever you are in times of stress. So I would guarantee that this COVID situation and is just so stressful. I just can't even wrap my head around it. My heart is sad, my heart is heavy, but then I know that there's blessings within struggles like these as well. And people grow closer, the knowledge grows closer. There is just a lot of good that's going to come out of it, but I know it's also a very stressful situation. So whether you can do this now or you can do it later, I would really suggest working with a practitioner and getting your cortisol levels checked. That brings me to another point of vitamin deficiencies. There are some laboratory tests that you can do that will test your nutrition levels at a cellular level. So knowing which supplements you should be taking at which dosage, and then which form would be right for you is out of my knowledge scope. But what I can help you with is direct you to a practitioner that can help you with that through a particular lab that I am a huge fan of. Before I got into my health journey, I had no idea how many different forms of magnesium there were, how many different forms of iron, and just so you know, magnesium and iron are both and vitamin D, and there's a lot that really play a role in how well you sleep. And so really that would be another key element for you to look at when it comes to sleep. So I don't know if I said those in an order of 10 different suggestions, but I did go over 10 suggestions. So let's just kind of do a quick recap on those 10 things real quick. The first suggestion I had was an herb called ashwagandha. The second was L-Theanine, which is actually an amino acid. Another thing I suggested was using a good clean source of essential oils, whether through diffusing or a CBD oil or a roll-on or something like that that you can use at nighttime as a part of your routine. And then some of those have lights and music, but if not, there are also some light devices that you can use. I mentioned one and I will put the link down below. That is the one that shines the light on top of your ceiling and helps you with doing breathing exercises that we have found personally a great device in our particular home. So something I would recommend. Other things that I suggest were the mouth guard, earplugs, if that's something that works right for you. The other items that I suggested working with and talking to one of your functional medicine practitioners that I can help guide you to were gut testing, food inflammatory testing, hormonal testing, and then vitamin deficiencies. And then also taking a look into sleep apnea. Take that as a consideration that you might have a sleep obstruction or maybe even a vitamin deficiency that's really kind of delaying your sleep or interrupting your sleep with leg movement or things like that. So my goal for you is that you are able to have a full night's sleep. I know it's torture when you can't go to sleep. I know it's torture when you're tired all the time. So I hope that I can help you with that part of your health and wellness plan. And please feel free to comment below or reach out to me. I have some links down below to help you. Thanks so much for watching. Coming up, we have some workshops that will be coming up. The first one is going to be a faith-based clean eating workshop, and that is a way that I have been eating since 2004. I've always tried to eat healthy in my life as much as the knowledge that I had at the time, but in 2004 my eyes were open to eating the way that old scripture suggested, also from a faith and religious standpoint for myself, but also from a medical health standpoint, knowing why those scripture laws were put there and what they could have been protecting me from. So I dove into that to learn more, and I would love to share that knowledge with you. I think it's really appropriate to share that right now when we're all trying to support our immune system. So that workshop should hopefully be on in the next week or two. I'm having to learn a lot that I just didn't know a month ago when it comes to technology. And then the second workshop is going to be on becoming a health coach. So a lot of people that I meet are functional medicine practitioners, if they're MDs or chiropractors or acupuncturists or psychotherapists. It's amazing. Any of those practitioners that I meet in those realms have had a personal health journey, not even either for themselves or for their family, and they're just so passionate. And that's really what helps them dive in and stay committed into learning new practices and learning new ways. And so if you are a mom or a family member that is looking into how they can utilize all this new knowledge that they've helped their family heal and grow through, and you're wanting to become a health coach, then I have a workshop to help you get started on your way. So look for those, and as always, if you would like to be part of our village, if you'd like to be featured, we would love to have you do a video or share any information. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and you stay safe and warm and make these memories good ones. See you next time. Bye for now.